All right, y'all. We back at it again, man. Another episode of Keep the G podcast, man. I got a real special guest today, man. A legend from my city. You feel me? Uncle T, man. Introduce yourself to the people, man. Let them know what you're about.
Man, keep it G, man. Basically where I'm at right now, bro, is all about the youth. It's all about the youth for me. I've been blessed and spared throughout the years, man, to be a credible message today for this generation. And I don't speak for the youth, man. I'm more so like, I like to picture myself as a father that didn't understand how to be a father back then, but now I'm making up for it with so many other young men in my lives that I call my sons. So I'm just that father, that grandfather, that uncle, that real legitimate big brother. I'm not talking about a big brother that lead brothers down that wicked path, man. I'm talking about a real brother, man, that's gonna keep it 100, man, keep it correct, and keep these kids, man, going in that straight and narrow direction. So, it ain't much, it's not much to me, bro, other than the fact that I'm just this caring, grateful, thankful, big-hearted person today, man, because I made it through. I made it through some things that people died in. So I'm just grateful today, bro. That's the totality of who I am, man. There's a big brother, man, that's extremely concerned, man, in this dispensation of time, bro.
So that's what you like to be clad. Cause look, I call you a jack of all trades, man. I'm saying you at schools. I'm saying you at political events. I'm even saying you at shooting scenes. You see what I'm saying? Like you really is all over the city, man, doing great things, man.
Bro, and I don't be at those places because no one called me. I'm there because the moment, it's like that moment almost like was strategically and uniquely designed for me to be in. You know what I mean? These are not things that I go looking for or someone call me up to. It's just that it's there in that moment. And I believe that if I'm in that moment, it was meant to be. It wasn't like nothing spontaneous. It was just a moment where I was just meant to be there, And if there's other places that I go to, I try not to bring no crowds with me, bro. When I speak out, man, I speak out from the heart, man. And I know there are times, man, that so many family members of mine, my own children, be concerned about me when I'm out there, bro. But I truly believe, man, that when God is with you, who can be against you when he governs all events? So I'm just doing me, man. I got angels guiding me and protecting me. You hear me? So I'm just out there, bro, doing my part until I'm called home.
So let me ask you this, man. What inspires you, man? Like, how did you get to this point from point A to point B? Like, what drives you to keep going?
I mean, people have heard my story over and over again. They kind of sound like I'm in a redundant mode. However, I'll always be ready, man, to respond to that by simply saying it was that epiphany when my son got murdered, man. That was it, bro. That was like that straw that broke the camel back, man. And that was that defining moment that in that moment, it was one of those things where you gonna live, you gonna die, you gonna leave your family out here, you gonna leave your children out here. And I knew that was a pivotal moment for me, bro, because those moments, man, that's right now causing murders. So I was right there in that moment, bro, that I could have took my bitterness and act out on it, but rather than me let that situation get me bitter, I allow it to get me better. So I just been going full throttle, man, since that incident because the pain that was so piercing, bro. And I preached my son's funeral. You know what I mean? I preached my son's funeral because I wanted young brothers. I mean, it was probably about 500 BGF members there. And, ain't no secret how my son was living. You dig what I'm saying? When you start taking people's lives, man, that boomerang effect is real. You dig what I'm saying? And if it don't come to you, it's simply because of the mercy and grace of God on your life, because you decide to not, continue going down that path, man, but understood that God allowed U-turns. And so for me, that's what it was. It was a U-turn, and it was that defining moment, man, where I got the chance to tell them young brothers at the funeral, man. Even at that moment, man, a brother gave me a gun, bro, in the funeral, bro. Like he didn't give it to me. He just wanted to get it off of him.
Right.
And I had him to give it to someone else. And right now to the day, bro, that young man down out of town, you know, he went to another state, man. And I had him to throw the damn gun in the harbor because I wasn't gonna do it for him. It's almost like how you tell somebody pour him a drink. You know what I mean? That was his problem. So he put it down in the harbor, but he walked away from it all, bro. And that's what it's gonna take for a lot of brothers that really like want that change. And I don't know what their epiphany is, but for me, it was, man, seeing my son, man, you know what I mean? Seeing my son in that casket, shit got real for me. You dig what I'm saying? And then I had him under such strenuous conditions. I had my son when I was like 16, and man, his mother ran from Montrose together at a little juvenile institution. We had sex on the train, and he was birthed out of all that pain. He was birthed when I was running, bro. Like, man, his mother ran, man. Like we AWOL from that little juvenile institution. And I had sex with her one time on that train, and he came out of all that pain, bro. You know what I mean? Right. So, you know, yeah, man. Yeah.
And that's the thing, man. That city, we experience a lot of death, man. And I see you you deal with the kids a lot. What do you tell the kids to help them cope with their situations and their environment of just living in the city?
You know, I believe that it's not so much of a gift as much as it is me being able to connect with them, connect with that pain. You dig what I'm saying? It's like once when you get, you know, what causes development of relationship is trust and respect, bro. And when you get those two ingredients, trust and respect, relationship is just that equation that comes out of that, you know. So it's like respect plus trust equals relationship. And that's what I had with the kids, man. And it was like I never got a chance to really be a kid. So today I'm like, I can go on that level with them, man, and really feel that pain. Like, I'm gonna tell you what's so amazing about me being in this school that I'm in today. It was a school that I dropped out of in the 5th grade, bro. Never went back to public school. Wow. That same school, God brought me full circle, and now I'm teaching in the school. But it was that school, bro, that I dropped out in the 5th grade, never went back to public school, 25 years of my life, in and out the system. So I literally went through prison like one go through school all the way up until, you know, I got the robbing banks, man. And when, you know, my last bit was in the federal penitentiary, you know, Lewisburg Penitentiary. So it was just that cycle, bro. You know, that I had believed that it couldn't be broken, bro. But then I started realizing, man, the more I start filtering my mind and recycling it with positive thinking, man, and that reinforcement of having big brothers in my life that wanted the best for me. It's like you gotta change that it's the mind, bro. That shit is here, bro. That thing is in the head. So until you change this, you'll never see no change on the outside, bro. That thing the war starts here, bro. Hey, the enemy, you know, the enemy. And so it was like a lot of washing, bro. But when I was in the joint, of course, I got my high school diploma at age 40, got a few credits from Allegheny College, you know. So, you know, I kind of like, you know, they always say it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Right. You know, so it's all about finishing strong, you know. But yeah, to answer your question, bro, I'll be able to get on them kids' level, man, and feel that pain. I cry with them, I laugh with them, bro. You know, and one of the things that you can ask any kid that I've ever worked with, bro, and there've been hundreds of them. You ask them how do they spell love when it comes to me, and they spell it T-I-M-E. The time I spend with them, right? And I'm telling you, bro, if you could never say you love someone if you don't spend time with them. So everybody see me on social media and all. It's super real. I spend just about more time with them than I do with my wife. My wife said, "God damn, you sharing them with me?" Like,
Yeah.
you know, she gotta say, "Take a break, baby." You know what I mean? But I just love doing what I'm doing. I believe that I felt like I went head on into my purpose, bro. After the death of my son, you know what I mean? And then I have another son who's currently locked up, you know, and my greatest thing is that, you know what I mean, while he in there, man, he cleaned his mind up. So I just been feeding him a lot of good stuff, you know what I mean?
Right.
But then I'm gonna tell you how good God is. I'm gonna say this real quick. So I told you my first son, I was just strictly out of his life, man, due to my life being all messed up and me never having a father in my life. So I never seen my father a day in my life, even up to now. I never seen him,
God,
you know,
dang.
and so it's like he ended up having a son and he's not around to see his son. And so when I had my other son, a lot of people know him, you know, the young brother be with Moose, they call him Freaky, but his name is Malik.
Okay.
And so he's in the system right now. So he got like some good and bad in me. He got the good and the bad.
Right.
But my son, when I came home from the fast, bro, I was determined that if I ever had any more children, they'll be the curse breaker. And showing up, man, you know, my youngest son, he go to SCAD University down in Virginia, bro. My daughter go to Western.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I know that it's breakable. You think I'm saying? I know that you can do that, bro. Look, I don't care what you've gone through. These young brothers gotta know, man. You can break it, but it's based on how bad you want to.
Right.
I'm talking about the killer, the hitter. Like, how bad do they want to change, or do they want to die in this shit? You know what I mean? Like, ain't no in betweens
At all. At
yeah.
all. And I always say this, man. You change your mind, you change your life, man. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
And one of the things that I respect and admire about you is like you're not just in the schools with the kids, you're not just outside with the kids. You actually these kids actually get to see you as a family man. You see what I'm saying? And I think that's important and to show that side.
Yeah, they come to my house and stay the night, bro. Like these kids, like, bro, I go into their homes, bro, and I see the problem. I see where the problem at. It's crystal clear, bro. You know what I mean? And you know, without getting into nobody personal business, but I can see the problem in this across the board. Like these kids living conditions, man, and like, bruh, you know, charity starts at home, man. If you got it right in the home, bruh, it's gonna spread abroad. You dig what I'm saying? So they coming out that angry environment. You know me, people always howling at them. You dig what I'm saying? So they expect you to do the same. So that's why they respond a certain way. But I try to do the opposite today, man. I try not to do what I know they are always hearing when they home. Yeah. So it's like, you know, just taking them shopping, man, and just showing them that real fatherly love, bro. You know?
Yeah, because that's missing a lot of our households in the city, man. Just as a community. You see what I'm saying? Like, so I see that background, man. Can you explain to people what it is in the background?
Oh man, Child to Change, man. That was something I came up with when I was in the Fad joint. There was a brother named Roma. Roma, he was the hitman of Nicky Bond. For those that know the old gangster back in the day from out of New York, man, named Nicky Bonds. He was Nicky Bond hitman. So I used to walk the yard with him in Lewisburg Penitentiary. And he was just giving me the spill, man, gave me the game, man, and always told me that he ended up, you know, rest in peace. He passed away. I think he did like 43, 44 years, man. You know, but he always had this idea of changing young people's lives, and he affected mine strongly when I was in the joint. And so he said, "Yeah, man, it's a program I have, man. Like if I was for to ever get out, you know," he said, "but man, it's a chance that, you know, you'll get up out of here." And when he said it's a chance of me getting up out of there, I understood, because during that time, you know, in Lewisburg Penitentiary, like in 94, 95, it was tough, man. Bro was dying like on a regular, you know, and there was a chance that I may not have made it out there. You dig what I'm saying? It's
Right.
time when Rafer Evans and Tariq Aziz, you know, the Blind Sheep, the ones that did the first World Trade Center bombing from the bottom, you know, drug cartels, Mexican mafia, Mexican syndicate. It was a mess, bro. You know, it's like it tried every part of who you are as a man. So, you know, just walking that neural and that straight path with this big brother that gave me the game, man. I was able to make it out, but I left a lot of soldiers behind that's gonna die in them joints, and that's just the reality. But yeah, he gave it to me. And so if you look at challenge, right, and you take the LLE out of challenge, you left with what?
Change.
And that can come out of any challenge, man. That's the truth I came to realize. You dig what I'm saying? So I embrace that wholeheartedly. And if you look at those two hands, you can see that these are hands, man. Like I don't like to call bloody hands, but these are the hands that's on the minds of our youth, man. So you can see the imagery or the silhouette of a human head, but the hands are holding that child's head, because we know this is where it all starts.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? Right here in the mind. So yeah, man, if it don't challenge you, it don't change you, man. That's our cliche, man. If it don't challenge you, it won't change you, you know?
Yeah. And you know, Baltimore in the last, I say 5 or 6 years, man, crime then got rampant. You see what I'm saying? What do you attribute to that, and what can we do as a people to change it? You see what I'm saying? Because it's like at the rate that we going, I mean, I don't even, I mean, like it's just getting worse and worse every year, man.
Well, it's brothers like yourself, man, that they create these platforms, man, where we get the message out there. And, you know, we can blame, you know, everybody has to play a part and take responsibility as to where we are right now. You know, politically speaking, educationally, you know, financially, like all these institutions, man, has a role in this condition. And so we know that a lot of systemic racism, man, exists and is real. You know, the lack of education, which creates the pipeline to incarceration. So we can go on and on and on and talk about all of these. But I tell you, man, the mothers and fathers got to step to the goddamn plate, bro. Because I'm telling you, bro, that play a major role in how you mold and shape a child's life. Like I said, you know, I already know I wasn't really there for my sons the way I wanted to be, because like a lot of the shooters and the killers today, you'd be amazed at how they really got a deep love for their children. But what they don't realize, bro, is that they live in a selfish life. And what I mean by that is that, like my life, for instance, when I was out there hustling and hitting the block was like, that was all I knew.
Right.
For almost 35 years, that's all I knew. So when I woke up in the morning, cut my smack up, hit the block, I wasn't thinking like, oh, I'm gonna go out on the corner so the police can lock me up and take me away from my son. That was this part of my life, but that was a selfish life, because when I went out there on the block, I was just doing me, even though I bought him little stuff here and there, but I wasn't worrying about him because I knew I could have gotten killed out there. So a lot of these young brothers, man, when I say they living selfish, like they ain't factoring in their children's lives, bro. Like, how much do you really love them? Do you love them enough to walk away from the block, bro? You know what I mean? Because if you want to do something you have never done and see the results that others has never seen, that's what you got to do. You got to do something that no one has ever done. And that's walk away, man. You got to bop off the block, bro. If not, you're going to get popped. And you're going to end up on cell block. I mean, that's how that goes, bro. You digging what I'm saying? Like, we just got to step to the plate. Everybody got to put their hands in this, bro. We got to get back to the village. Because the village, you know, I say it take a village to raise a child. But we in this place now, man, where the village is effed up.
That's a fact. Yeah, you're right. The village is fucked up, man, and that's a fact. We definitely, and I say that all the time, man. I think that's one of the what's one of the things that been lost in our community. You see what I'm saying? Because at one point, the next door neighbor can chastise you. You see what I'm saying? But now we got to this point where the teacher call home, the parent go to the school and cuss out the teacher.
Yeah, I mean, like it's serious, man. We in this, man, bro. The things I'm saying inside the schools now is this, like, unveiling the depth, man, of the darkness and the challenges that we had before us, bro, with these youths, bro. You know me, I'm constantly finding myself telling the kid, why would you cuss at that teacher like that? Now, I've never had none of them cuss at me, not that they won't, but I'm just saying, I thank God for the respect and the love that they show towards me. But when I see how they treat the other teachers, bro, it hurts me, man. It tears me to the core. And it's like, bro, these kids are hurting. This mental illness piece, bro, is at an all-time high. We can't dump enough money into this mental illness, bro, because these kids are suffering from some stuff. And they're not really being challenged no more in these schools, bro. A lot of these kids is not even learning, bro. Like, before you can get their attention span focused, bro, they off somewhere else, thinking in la la land, bro. Like, they can't even get centered and focused to even, stay concentrated enough on the work, man. You know what I mean? Like, I see some of the, man, it's a serious situation, bro. All I can say. And these kids are just uptight, bro. They angry, they mad. They just come out of broken homes, broken institutions, broken city. You dig what I'm saying? Everything around them, broken promises from their fathers and from their mothers. So everything just seems broken to them. So, what you expect to come out of a kid that's filled with all of that stuff, bro? Is this pure, unadulterated anger gonna come out? You dig what I'm saying? And if you get in the pathway of that anger, and when it's released on you, you know what I mean? That's why they say, I think it's an African proverb say, if you don't love the child correctly, you will feel that child's wrath, man. You dig what I'm saying? If you don't love them correctly, the village will feel his wrath, man. And that's what we feeling right now, because we are not loving our children. We trying to punish them into a good place, and that's not gonna happen, bro.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, man, hey, man, I appreciate your time, man. This is a good conversation, man. Let the people know where they can find you, Uncle T.
Oh, man, you can go to my website. My website is challenge, the word challenge, and the number 2, challenge to change youth on .com, challenge to change youth.com. That's my website to learn and to study more about what I do for those that don't. And of course, my IG is one uncle _T. And so you can always reach out to me. My number is out there. You go to my Instagram, you'll see the information right there in my bio, where you can hit the link in my bio and it'll take you straight to my webpage. So yeah, man. So, bro, it's like I'm thankful and grateful to be able to come and share this information. But, bro, just keep doing your thing, man. Keep it G, bro. Keep it G, man, and just know, man, that your labor is not in vain,
And that's a fact, man. And I just want to say this, man. Uncle T is bigger than Baltimore. The information that he gives these kids and give people, it can be used in any city. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So
right.
I just appreciate your time, man, and you enjoy your day, man. And I'm gonna wrap this up, man. Keep it G podcast, man.
Yeah, man. Let's just keep going. Let's continue to love them into a good place, man. And just know that we can't punish them into a good place. But last but not least, man, just know that for the day, grow through what we go through.
Grow through what we go through, man. Word for the day, man.
Yeah, I love you, King.
All righty, man.
Great work, man.
Back at you. Thanks, bro.
My man.
Yeah.